As promised, here are your awesome lectures by video. I know you all miss me this week. Tonight, I'm going to talk first about Chapter 10, and then we'll discuss Chapter 11 and using PowerPoint to work on your assignment. So first, I'll do Chapter 10. Chapter 10 really deals with the creative strategy and the creative process and understanding how to use it. IMC strategies are often translated in creative briefs and message strategies that guide creativity. And a lot of times what happens is when we're dealing with agencies and dealing with departments, they create a creative brief that kind of outlines a project, outlines the story behind the ad to connect it to the strategy. So in this chapter, we'll discuss the attributes of creativity, describe how creative strategy is developed and used, elaborate on different creativities, ways that creativity enhances advertising, and explain the role that agency talent plays in the creative process. Now, a lot of time when you're dealing with a creative team, whether it be an agency or in a large corporation that has a marketing department, you usually have a creative director. And if you're in the digital marketing clinic, the creative director really is in charge of the group. They're in charge of the project. There is the verbal side and the nonverbal side. Usually the art director is in charge of the nonverbal side, usually making decisions about color and images and the nonverbal cues, whereas the copywriter is in charge of the ad, what the ad is saying and the headlines and the calls to action, and they're really behind the verbal. Both teams work together with the creative director to create a plan for your ad. So what makes for great creative? Obviously, audience impact. That's what we're looking for here, okay? Now, there's a couple different ways that we can impact the audience. And the first is the boom factor. All right, we see a lot of TV commercials and a lot of ads that play off the boom factor. A lot of times these are humorous ads or shocking ads. Some of the humorous ads I've shown. I know Carolyn loves the German Coast Guard. I personally love the man that your man could smell like. You sports fan probably loves the Brothers commercial by ESPN with Peyton and Eli, as I'm watching the New York Giants-Philadelphia game, by the way. It's kind of a funny coincidence. But that really is the boom factor, okay? Another way that we can use this, another way we can impact the audience is using an informational impact, okay? Identifying the consumer's pain points, identifying what is wrong with them, and then educating them, informing them that our product is the answer to their problem. Obviously, I'll say it. I'll go ahead and say it. Those flip phones for the old people. Obviously, we have identified a problem that they're alone and their adult children are worried about them. Informational, problem relief. Again, that's one of the ways that we can impact and make some great creative. Transformational, positive reinforcement to offer reward. This is often used too. We use positive reinforcement to make you feel that you can transform, that it's a reward for you. A lot of food commercials are based on this positive reinforcement that you're making a good decision, that you're really your reward is a great meal or a good automobile. So that is often used. The only problem with informational and transformational, they often lack a big idea or fail in the execution. So moving on, these are some of my favorite boom factor commercials. So take a look and enjoy. So what makes for great creative? Strategic relevance. An ad may be entertaining, but if it isn't relevant to the advertising strategy or the segment that we're targeting, this ad's going to fail. So make sure that whatever segment that you're targeting in addition to the strategy, make sure it's relevant, because if it's not, the ad will fail. All right, let's take a look at target elements of advertising strategy. Obviously, their target audience, no pun intended, is value-conscious adults, 25 to 49, families, 18 to 25, key influentials. They're hip and they're trendy. Their product concept is cheap chic. And again, I think they do a very good job with their commercials of showing, hey, you can be fashionable, you can be cool for less. And again, it's all around their whole IMC strategy. Their commercials are great. Their stores are very trendy and lighted properly. Their products are very chic. They're cool products. I remember that earlier this year, I can't remember the name of the Lily Pulitzer? I don't know. It's a girl's clothing, so I have no idea. But it sold out before the stores even opened. Again, they're using chic designers and chic ads and chic lighting and beautiful stores. It's an IMC strategy that carries through. And again, it matches their strategy. Very good use of strategy by Target. And that's why they succeed. So when you're writing the creative brief, some issues to consider are who, why, what, where, when, what style, approach, tone, and what will the copy say. Again, this will help you stay true to your strategy and stay true to your segments. Rational and emotional appeals are always important when creating an IMC strategy. Some of the approach needs: self-actualization, esteem, social, safety, and physiological. Again, some of the appeals would be rational and emotional, and these are some of the examples of what you can use. So you can use this form right here, this table, when you're developing your own advertising strategy and advertisements for the final project. Feel free to use this. Very, very good to use. The creative brief. The brief elements usually starts off with an objective statement. All right, usually starts off trying to figure out what exactly your objectives are. Is there sales objectives, imaging objectives? What is your objective of this campaign? And then a support statement. Then obviously tone and brand or character statements. The message strategy, again, this is spelled out very simply. A lot of times verbal with key messaging, nonverbal with description of imagery, and then technical, what technical products that you need for it. Color and logo nonverbals make target ads instantly recognizable. Crisp images, contrasting colors, they're very recognizable in target ads. Creativity. Target uses fantastic creativity to combine two or more previously unconnected objects or ideas into something new. Their ads take previously unconnected objects and put them together to create ads that are chic and speak to the direct audience. Creativity's role is to inform, persuade, remind, and bring the boom. And again, take our supermarket example. Depending on your product, is it a fact-based thinking product or is it more value-based thinking? Again, that can help you define what your creativity is centered around. Okay, if it's more of a deeper thought type of product like a car, you're going to have to inform and persuade. Whereas value-based thinking may be a shopping value or a quick, hey, I need a candy bar. Again, you may have to bring the boom and humor and make them want to buy yours. So if we think about the inform, think about Mercedes-Benz and how they inform people of how quality engineering, car engineering is. And then take a look at the boom factor and think about what types of products are value-based. Old Spice is a great example of this, and the deodorant. They have to bring the boom to set themselves apart. Finally, understand creative thinking as far as when we're comparing thinking styles and thinking categories. Thinking styles are hard or soft, and categories are fact-based or value-based. The creative process, explore the insight. Know your objective and brainstorm different ideas in the creative process. When dealing with the artist, transform the concept and develop a big idea. Adapt, reverse, compare, parody, imagine, connect, eliminate. These are all different ideas or different concepts that we can take with our art. And finally, the creative pyramids. Of course, there's a pyramid for everything. And the creative pyramid is very similar to the advertising pyramid. In the same 5 steps, except we're creating attention, interest, credibility, desire, and then action. Very similar to the advertising pyramid. So the creative pyramid offers a simple guide for establishing copywriting objectives. This is chapter 10. Again, we'll briefly discuss this when I get back in 2 weeks, but until then, have a good evening and look for chapter 11.